Star Wars was a big influence on me because it came out in '77. I was born in '66, so I was right at the right age for that thing to hit.
We all love Hollywood, right? The red carpets, the dazzling smiles, and those incredible stories of teamwork we see on the big screen. But let's spill the tea for a second. Movie sets aren't always the fairy tale factories they seem. In fact, sometimes the backstage drama is just as gripping as the films themselves. We're talking juicy rumors, on-set squabbles, and those head-scratching stories about actors suddenly leaving projects. And guess what's got the internet buzzing right now? A rumor involving everyone's favorite director, Jon Favreau. Yep, that Jon Favreau, the mastermind behind Marvel hits like Iron Man and Disney plus sensations like The Mandalorian. Word on the street is, he might have hinted at a toxic vibe on the set of Deadpool? Hold up, Deadpool? This is the director known for creating super positive environments and he's calling out negativity? Fans are losing their minds. Is this a real Hollywood bombshell or just another rumor swirling in the digital gossip mill? Let's dive into why this story is so totally unexpected. First things first, Favreau wasn't even directing or producing Deadpool, even though he's a huge player in the Marvel world. So why would he be talking about set conditions on a movie he wasn't officially part of? And second, Deadpool is famous for its wild, hilarious energy. We all pictured the cast and crew as one big, happy, joke-cracking family. The idea that Favreau might have seen or heard about a toxic atmosphere completely flips that picture upside down. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How can even superhero movies, with all their fun and explosions, have drama bubbling beneath the surface? Could creative clashes or the insane pressure of making a blockbuster cause things to get tense? Hollywood whispers suggest Favreau might have visited the Deadpool set or been in some behind-the-scenes chats. Maybe he was giving advice, checking in on friends at Marvel, or maybe it was just a random coincidence.
Yeah, and that's my background, whether it was Elf or Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr. I've always loved improvisation, things that could bring a little bit of life to it, and I love to spend all that time meticulously going through every daily. And with animation, it's even easier because you could cut anything together and then you animate to that. So it really was the best of, and both of them are so funny, and we recorded them together. We actually acted it out in like a rehearsal theater space and recorded their voices so that what you're seeing is a much more natural improvisation.
Okay, so what's the real tea here? The rumor mill is buzzing that Favreau, Mr. Positive Set Vibes himself, sensed something off about the Deadpool production. Apparently he dropped hints, maybe in low-key chats or interviews, that behind all the wisecracking and superhero silliness, there was some serious tension bubbling beneath the surface. But hold your horses, gossip lovers. This isn't a classic Hollywood scandal with receipts. There's no viral video of Favreau yelling, "toxic set" on Deadpool. Instead, internet sleuths are piecing together vague comments Favreau has made about encountering negativity in unexpected corners of Hollywood. He's often spoken in general terms about how massive movie productions can either become like a tight-knit family or transform into stressful pressure cookers fueled by ego clashes. He's even emphasized how crucial good leadership is on set because, let's be real, everyone wants to enjoy their job, especially in creative fields. And he's mentioned that when budgets are astronomical and fan expectations are sky high, personalities can collide, making the whole atmosphere feel draining. Now here's the twist. Favreau never actually said Deadpool in these comments, but some people are playing detective, reading between the lines, and thinking these are sneaky clues about that particular movie. But why would Favreau, known for being diplomatic and sunshiny, even risk making these kinds of remarks about a film he wasn't even in charge of? One theory is that he started subtly, maybe whispering in industry circles. Perhaps it was only when people kept asking about his general philosophy on managing huge casts that he let a few breadcrumbs drop. Another idea? Maybe he wanted to send a low-key warning to his industry buddies. Just because a movie is hilarious on screen doesn't mean everyone was laughing behind the cameras. In that sense, Favreau might have felt a responsibility to share a cautionary tale about how quickly a creative dream can turn sour if not handled carefully. Now, Deadpool fans are famously protective of their franchise, and for good reason. They adore Ryan Reynolds as the wisecracking mercenary, and the whole cast and crew seem to radiate pure fun and comedic genius. So, the idea of a toxic set just doesn't compute with the energetic, joyful vibe they see in interviews and behind-the-scenes clips. Unsurprisingly, some fans are hitting back hard, screaming, "Fake news!" After all, Deadpool was a box office smash, critically acclaimed, and the cast always gushes about each other. How could such a seemingly happy project be hiding dark secrets? Well, others argue that box office gold doesn't automatically equal rainbows and unicorns behind the cameras. Hollywood history is full of examples of wildly successful movies with famously chaotic and dramatic productions. Some fans even suggest that if Favreau sensed tension, maybe it was minor, quickly resolved, or just his personal take, perhaps he saw toxic, where others just saw a normal high-pressure movie shoot. Ultimately, without direct quotes or anyone else backing up the rumor, it remains exactly that, a Hollywood whisper.
Now we look back at Star Wars nostalgically, but at the time, it was mind-blowingly technical and the visual effects were so innovative. And it was such a simple story that was told in a way that young people could appreciate it, but with all the detail and complexity of a big Hollywood production. So I, like many of my generation, were completely enthralled with it. And that's before you had all of this competition for your attention. So you'd keep going back to the movie theater, you'd play with the toys, you waited for the sequel to come out. The sequels were great.
Okay, so spill it. If there was any backstage drama, who was stirring the pot? That's the million-dollar question, right? Because on the surface, the Deadpool crew seems like comedy gold. They're always praised for their off-the-charts chemistry. Ryan Reynolds, the man is Deadpool, is known for being genuinely likable, lightning-fast funny, and a total sweetheart off-camera too. Other stars like TJ Miller and Marina Baccarin have also shared hilarious fun stories from filming, but remember that little detail? The first Deadpool director, Tim Miller, bounced after the first movie due to those classic creative differences. Could Favreau's maybe comments be connected to that whole situation? Was he subtly hinting at tension between Reynolds and the production team back then? Some eagle-eyed fans are definitely suspicious of the timing, pointing out that these Favreau whispers popped up around the same time everyone was buzzing about Miller's exit and the shift in Deadpool's creative direction. Still, let's keep it real. Creative clashes are basically Hollywood 101. Directors leave projects over clashing visions all the time. It's just movie business, and doesn't automatically equal a toxic set. But here's the thing that's got everyone hooked. The rumor mill suggests Favreau used the word toxic, or at least implied something pretty serious. Believers in the rumor argue that Favreau, Mr. Teamwork and Respect, wouldn't even hint at something unless he sensed genuine problems. On the flip side, skeptics argue that because Favreau is so focused on good vibes, he might see even normal Hollywood friction as a major red flag. Hollywood insiders also chime in on Favreau's style, saying he's a total professional who always aims for a harmonious set. If he did notice something negative, he'd likely handle it super discreetly, a quiet word with producers or actors, not a public blast. This low-key approach totally fits Favreau's rep, which is why any hints he dropped would be vague, only adding fuel to the rumor fire without giving us any solid proof. And let's be honest, the rumor is juicy because it suggests someone so respected saw something negative in a franchise we all adore. And right now, the rumor is still floating in that delicious maybe yes, maybe no zone. That's the magic of Hollywood gossip, baby. Every time Favreau does an interview, fans turn into detectives, magnifying glasses out, searching for clues. Every mention of stressful sets or backstage drama sends the rumor mill spinning even faster.
And I was so interested in why, of all the characters in the Marvel Universe, now it seems to make perfect sense why you'd start with Iron Man, you know?
It's who was left over. They were making a lot of superhero movies with Spider-Man, and they had Batman, and Iron Man was, seemed like the next logical choice.
So what happens next in this Hollywood whodunit? The Deadpool hype train is still full steam ahead, with fans practically bursting with excitement for the next movie and whispers of even bigger Marvel crossovers. Imagine the ultimate mic drop moment. Favreau and the Deadpool crew team up on a future project. Picture them all smiles, posing for photos, showering each other with praise, rumor busted, case closed. But what if they keep their distance? What if there's some awkwardness in the air? Then, the gossip flames will just get higher and hotter. Of course, in Hollywood, secrets are like buried treasure. They always seem to get dug up eventually. As time rolls on and people move on to new projects, maybe more insiders will spill the tea, either backing up the toxic set story or slamming the door on it completely. Maybe we'll get a juicy tell-all memoir, a bombshell interview, or even a scandalous documentary that finally gives us the real scoop. Or maybe this whole rumor is just a reflection of our own obsession with Hollywood's wonderfully messy reality. Let's face it, we love the idea that behind every laugh-out-loud movie moment, there's a secret story of tension and drama lurking. And when you think about Jon Favreau's career, it makes the whole rumor even more fascinating. This is the guy who steered mega projects like the live-action Lion King and Jungle Book, and basically launched the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe with Iron Man. He's always preaching about teamwork, respect, and making sure everyone feels creatively valued. So if he did stumble upon a negative vibe on the Deadpool set, it would definitely stick out like a sore thumb compared to his usual experiences. That contrast is probably exactly why this rumor exploded in the first place. People figure Favreau, who's famous for running smooth, happy sets, would be extra sensitive to even a whiff of discord. And now, fans who adore both Favreau and Deadpool are caught in a classic fan conundrum. Do they just brush it off as internet noise? Or do they dare to consider that maybe, just maybe, those hilarious on-screen antics were hiding some real behind-the-scenes friction? Ultimately, this whole Favreau and Deadpool's toxic set rumor is a perfect example of how Hollywood gossip thrives on whispers and innuendo. Favreau hasn't pointed any fingers or dropped any details. So for now, the rumor remains a swirling fog of unanswered questions. Some fans even wonder if it's all just a big misunderstanding of Favreau's general thoughts on comedy, how even comedy sets, if not handled carefully, can sometimes step over the line.
It's great because you realize that you've got sort of a deep bench of people that you know that you can draw from.
Right.
That not only are you sort of reaching out to them, but you're benefiting so much because you're inheriting all this skill and even little parts. Matt Walsh did a cameo there as being interviewed. Like just small little things that pop up throughout. Andy Richter, who I had known from the improv community in Chicago, was there. And the new people that they know.
Right.
Like Kyle Gass. There's a million great little pieces of casting that have, over time flowered into their own careers apart from that.
Or could the truth be way simpler than all this drama? What if Favreau was just making a general point about set culture, and it got twisted and amplified into this whole idea that he was specifically calling out Deadpool as a negative example? Hollywood history is full of stories like that, rumors getting blown way out of proportion. In today's crazy digital world, a tiny snippet of a conversation can explode into a massive accusation the second the internet rumor mill starts churning. Plus, let's really think about it. Are comedy sets just naturally more prone to behind-the-scenes craziness? A production that thrives on improv might accidentally blur the lines between work and play, or spark arguments about pushing jokes too far. A super hilarious star could unintentionally steal the spotlight, creating some backstage grumbling. Comedy is all about perfect timing and seamless teamwork, and if that teamwork crumbles behind the cameras, it can create tension that's the opposite of the on-screen laughs. Favreau's comments about keeping things balanced and respectful could easily be seen as just general industry advice, not a pointed finger at Deadpool at all. This whole rumor also highlights how much fans are now caring about well-being in the entertainment world. Social media is buzzing with conversations about mental health, respect, and treating people right in high-pressure jobs like filmmaking. If Favreau did have some concerns, it could just be part of this bigger, positive push to improve things in Hollywood across the board. But until we get some real facts, this whole thing is still just educated guessing. Even so, this Favreau finds Deadpool toxic story is undeniably a super juicy what-if scenario. People are naturally hooked by the idea that comedy gold might come with a hidden cost. It reminds us that even on the most fun, lighthearted sets, real people with real feelings and big ambitions are working their tails off to make movie magic happen. Drama can bubble up anywhere, and when someone as respected as Favreau seems to hint at anything, even indirectly, it gives the rumor serious weight. If more info ever surfaces, maybe Favreau will actually clarify what he meant, or the Deadpool team will jump in to deny any negativity. For now, the rumor is like a puzzle with a bunch of missing pieces. Those who live for Hollywood gossip are still debating, was Favreau really talking about Deadpool, or are fans just connecting random dots to create a story they love to dissect? Some even wonder if the rumor was kicked off by people who felt overlooked on set, using Favreau's name to make their own complaints sound bigger. Others think it's totally innocent, just well-meaning fans who heard Favreau's general thoughts on set culture and jumped to conclusions. Ultimately, this whole swirling speculation about Jon Favreau exposing a toxic work environment.
Star Wars was a big influence on me because it came out in '77. I was born in '66.
So I was right at the right age for that thing to hit. And it was before all the hype, you know, it was the first to kind of the popcorn blockbusters. You had that, and then you had Spielberg's films. So you had like Jaws and that. But before then, it was still the 70s, you know, it was 70s movies. And I remember seeing, I don't even remember seeing a commercial. I remember seeing like a picture in the newspaper, like the New York Post or something, about the movie.
Bottom line, this whole Deadpool rumor saga just proves one thing. We are obsessed with Hollywood's backstage secrets. We don't just want to see the movie magic on screen, we're dying to know how the whole crazy thing came together. And the idea of a toxic set adds a seriously juicy twist, like a secret, scandalous subplot playing out alongside the superhero action. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are even the funniest, most outrageous movies sometimes a pressure cooker for the people making them? Of course, like so many Hollywood rumors, this could all be smoke and mirrors, a story built on a few vague comments and a whole lot of wishful, or maybe not so wishful thinking. But whether it's true or totally made up, this rumor shines a spotlight on how easily fans and the media can spin an entire narrative out of the tiniest hints. In Hollywood, where image is everything, everyone walks on eggshells with their words, making it practically impossible to confirm or deny anything without rock-solid proof. Favreau's fans are convinced he meant well, even if his words got twisted. Deadpool diehards are ready to defend their beloved franchise to the death. And those of us who just love a good dose of Hollywood drama, we're glued to every new whisper, breathlessly waiting for the truth to finally spill out. Until we get some real answers, this rumor is going to keep buzzing louder than ever, fueled by our endless curiosity, our love of speculation, and that undeniable thrill of any hint of drama in Tinseltown. Let's be real, part of the fun of following Hollywood is mixing that red carpet sparkle with the whispered possibility that behind those dazzling smiles, there are stories of friendships, feuds, and secrets that would make your jaw drop. Jon Favreau, a superhero movie godfather, potentially clashing with the wild chaos of a comedy set like Deadpool. Come on, that's just too good of a story to ignore. Whether Favreau meant to call out Deadpool or not, the rumor itself has ignited a conversation about what happens when crazy comedy collides head-on with the insane pressure of making a blockbuster. Without hard evidence or Favreau setting the record straight, we're left with this endlessly intriguing what if, a scenario where the wild humor of Deadpool meets a cautionary tale about how set culture can turn tense, even toxic, if not handled with kid gloves. For now, the mystery endures. Favreau hasn't said Deadpool, and the Deadpool team hasn't officially fired back. If either side ever decides to clear the air, fans will finally know if there was real fire behind all this smoke. But in the wild, wacky world of entertainment gossip, sometimes just the possibility of backstage drama is enough to keep the story burning bright. Maybe next time Favreau opens his mouth about movie sets, the rumor believers will be hunting for hidden messages like their lives depend on it, while the doubters will just roll their eyes at yet another internet tall tale. And so, the story rolls on, a constantly evolving piece of Hollywood legend that may or may not be hinting at some real drama lurking just beneath the hilarious, wisecracking surface of one of our all-time favorite superhero franchises.